In the world of weather, there's really not a whole lot to write home about. We have those warm, dry conditions that are lingering around, and that's really kind of the only thing that I'm aware of that we really have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we're really not too concerned about many weather hazards. Friday might be a little bit breezy, but certainly not as windy as last weekend. I would say that under normal circumstances, we wouldn't even really be talking about the potential for breezy winds on Friday, because even when I mentioned breezy winds, Friday, we're only going to see gusts up to around 25 miles per hour or so region-wide, which is really nothing to write home about for this area. Now, today it is going to be a light wind day aside from the Kittitas Valley. Plenty of sunshine in Yakima. We are waking up to those sunny skies this morning, and skies will stay sunny through the course of the day. It is a bit cool in Yakima right now, sitting in the upper 40s. For the Tri-Cities, also waking up to those sunny skies. Temperatures in the Tri-Cities at this point are sitting all the way into the mid-50s. Now, to Dave's point, there is a pretty big warm-up on the way. Highs today will be comfortable, but we could see triple digits in the near future. What days will be hot? We'll have that coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Yakima. A man has been arrested for attempted rape of a child after he allegedly texted a person he thought was a 13-year-old girl. The man was taken into custody on May 30th at an Ellensburg park where he thought he was going to meet the girl. He allegedly began texting an undercover officer who was posing as a prostitute as part of an online sting operation. The man was taken into custody after arriving at the park, which the girl said she was near. He was booked on charges of commercial sex abuse of a minor, second-degree rape of a child, and communication with a minor for immoral purposes. And a Yakima man is headed to federal prison after using Snapchat and Instagram to solicit minors. 43-year-old Brian Christopher Stevenson was sentenced to 22 years after pleading guilty to soliciting minors to send him sexually explicit content. Federal prosecutors say he used social media to communicate with at least 8 minors in different states and had dozens of images and videos of minors engaging in sexually explicit conduct and being sexually abused on his iPad. A man is dead after crashing Monday morning. According to Washington State Patrol, 23-year-old Brian B from Quincy was traveling eastbound on State Route 28 near milepost 22 when his car left the roadway. B overcorrected, causing his vehicle to roll, eventually coming to a rest in the eastbound lanes. The 23-year-old was transported to Central Washington Hospital, where he later died. Deputies say drugs or alcohol were involved in the crash. So far this year, there have been 3 ice flights out of McAllister Field, all in a 5-day span last month. According to Airport Director Rob Hodgman, they usually plane and deplane with assistance from McCormick Air Center and do not go into the Yakima Air Terminal. They usually get about 2 days notice when a plane is coming, and there is no effect on passenger airlines.
The fact of the matter is that the airport really just goes out to observe. We don't have an active role. We are responsible from TSA for the security of the airport, so one of our team will go out and just be there. Heaven forbid somebody would try to, break away, but that has never happened.
According to flight records, 119 people have boarded an ICE flight in Yakima and 42 people have deplaned. Switching gears this morning, Pasco now has funding to build a new overpass to help reduce congestion on Road 68. The city has gotten almost $3.8 million from the Benton-Franklin Council of Governments to begin planning for the new overpass at Road 76 that would service traffic without freeway connections.
Benton-Franklin Council of Governments, where they took traffic counts, and it showed that Road 68 has the highest volume of vehicles in the evening peak hour. So the intent of this corridor, this new overpass, is to allow for an alternative crossing of the freeway.
Funding was also secured to build a pedestrian bridge at the Road 100 overpass. Recently, an anonymous letter was sent to the Natchez School District superintendent and their school board, and it has prompted some action on the superintendent's part. The letter, sent out on May 25th, heavily criticizes Superintendent Robert Bowman, money management in the transportation department, budget cuts, and food service. In response, Bowman sent an email to all union-paying staff members saying that the letter was misleading and had incorrect information. He also hosted a meeting with union members on staff Monday night. However, it was made clear that no minutes would be taken, cell phones must be put away, and that there would be no opportunity for open questions or public comments. We have reached out to the school district to get more information, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more. 175 students will receive scholarships tomorrow from the Yakima Valley College Foundation. After applications were submitted earlier this year, volunteers on the foundation's board read through each one. 3 board members looked at the applications for specific scholarships and then who got the money. These scholarships will go towards all types of students studying at YVC.
I love the medical, the nursing ones are great because there's such a need for healthcare in everywhere, but it helps. And I actually, a lot of times when I'll go to a doctor, I'll ask if they went here, and a lot of them have. So it's kind of nice.
Now, the average scholarship is $4,000, enough to cover 2 quarters of classes. This year, $700,000 will be given out. Although donors help with some of the money, the stock market helps as well.
Depends on the stock market because, you know, we have our money invested there, and so we don't use the principal, we just use the interest and the income, and so that's what we base it on every year, is what our income is from the investments.
Now, you can apply for next year's scholarships when the window opens in early December. The details will be up on our website, KIMATV.com. A new machine has made its way to the Cadillac Tri-Cities Cancer Center that will allow patients to be treated with greater precision. Thanks to Providence Hospital, the Cancer Center was able to upgrade their linear accelerator. Since April, this machine has helped patients with less radiation, precise tumor measurements, plus it works faster than their last machine.
I think it's amazing. I think being able to offer this to our community where we all have our families and people we love and care about, being able to get treatment here with the best technology around, it's unbeatable.
In addition to helping cancer patients, this will help treat conditions such as osteoarthritis. And finally, Central Washington Disability Resources now has a Yakima location. While the organization has operated out of Ellensburg for decades, the new office allows CWDR to expand its reach and offer more direct support to individuals with disabilities in the Yakima community.
After doing a lot of research, we figured that Yakima has the highest population of individuals with disabilities, so it just made more sense to have an actual location in Yakima versus the other counties.
With the new space, they plan to enhance services like independent living training, employment support, and community reintegration.
So our staff, we have 11 staff, and all staff have disabilities, right? So I have a disability, and my disability is more a hidden disability. And so we do a lot of education on minimizing those biases, as well as making sure that people have access to resources, whether it's transportation, right? Are the buses accessible? Are people being respected at work and accommodated? You know, making sure that if people are applying for accessible housing, that the landlords are able to accommodate them.
As CWDR continues to explore new funding opportunities and collaborations, it will be able to expand its services and help more people. And finally, as we enter the warmer and drier months, drought conditions only continue to worsen. The statewide drought increasing 17% since last week alone. Those factors are contributing to what wildland fire experts are forecasting to be an above normal fire season. Drought conditions impact the speed and behavior of wildfires because dry vegetation can cause fires to spread quicker and become more intense. The U.S. Drought Monitor shows 3.9 million Washingtonians live in drought areas. That's almost half of the state population. Right now, 23% of the state is experiencing moderate drought conditions, and 30% of the state is under abnormally dry conditions. This month, the National Interagency Fire Center is also forecasting an above normal fire potential eastern Washington and Oregon, as well as the Idaho Panhandle. By August, all of Washington is expected to reach above normal fire potential. And leaders from Benton Clean Air Agency also making predictions of a significant increase in wildfires, pointing to the wildfire situation in Canada. Their advice, though, is for you to keep an eye on burn bans.
And once we get into high fire danger, I believe there is no more burning for residential fires or outdoor burning. And once we get into extreme fire danger, there is no more burning, period, in the county. And the reason for that is those fuels out there become much more flammable and easy to spread. So that's why as that fire danger grows, there is less and less burning that is allowed.
Between June 9th and the 15th, the Benton Clean Air Agency will be hosting a Smoke Ready Week to prepare the community for what to watch out for, how to limit your exposure to smoke and fires, and more. And finally, if you lived in Benton County, listen up. The Benton County Office of Emergency Management would like for you to take a short survey so they can reduce the risks in the community. Benton County Emergency Management is updating their hazard mitigation plan, and they're asking for your input on what risks you're most concerned about and how you'd like to get information in the event of a disaster.
That will help kind of inform some of the decisions on how do we reach people, what's important to them within the communities that they live in, how do they get their information, where do they go to get that information. So if you have an opportunity, go to our website and take that survey.
Some of the biggest concerns in our area are, of course, wildfires and flooding. A link to the survey can be found up on our website, KEPRtv.com. Now, Jefferson, not to step on anybody's toes here, but we kind of mentioned the drought conditions that we've been experiencing, and it just goes to show, well, it's very indicative considering, you know, the dry conditions we've been seeing all week long, and now we're seeing those triple-digit temperatures possible. So definitely fire aware has to be, you know, kind of a common thing.
Yeah, we haven't really seen one of those region-wide wetting rain events for quite some time. I do know that just a couple of weeks ago, there were some showers and thunderstorms that brought some rainfall, but we haven't really had one of those just generally wet days in quite a long time, and there's not going to be one of those, at least for the foreseeable future. Today, we are going to see sunshine around eastern Washington and northeast Oregon. High temperatures today are going to be climbing into the upper 70s to mid 80s. Today is going to be a very similar day to what we did experience yesterday, but to Dave's point, temperatures are going to go through a pretty significant warming trend for the next several days after today.